Hello, welcome to Lorbeck Luxury Cars. I'm Harry, and on this edition of the Friday Drive, I view this, our 2018 Ferrari GTC4Lusso T. Given last week we tested the Ferrari FF, it seemed only natural, now that we've just received the GTC4Lusso into stock, that we should test it and see how the successor to the FF compares. First and most importantly, what you'll find different to the Ferrari FF is gone is a V12 and replaced is a V8, a 3.9 litre V8, the same one that you find in the California T, the Portofino and the 488s. And even though it's down 4 cylinders, it seems to, well, in my opinion, have a pretty impressive pedigree and 449 kilowatts to boot. And inside, Ferrari's philosophy of the dual cockpit approach is in full force, with the driver given particular focus and the passenger their own little sort of semi-cabin, if you like. It's a very Ferrari thing, and it really is a pretty special place to be. And coming around the back, you press a little button here, and what is revealed is a proper boot. Now, that makes this Ferrari one of, if not the only, authentic shooting brake on the market in Australia today. So how does this, the successor to the FF, stack up in the real world? Well, there's only one way to find out. 0 to 100 is done in 3.5 seconds and will power onto a top speed of at least 320 kilometers per hour, all while transporting 4 people and their luggage in handcrafted Italian luxury. And inside the cabin, it feels thoroughly modern. I mean, there's a complete lack of excess in here, which I really like. It feels thoroughly modern, and even though it lacks a lot of the buttons that you're used to getting in these luxurious cars, it doesn't feel unluxurious, quite the opposite. And that restraint shows great design and a real sort of just incredible skill on Ferrari's part to be able to design an unfussy, uncluttered cabin, but still make it feel special and luxurious and a really nice place to be. It's very memorable. It's easy to be confused as to what this car really is trying to achieve. Is it a Ferrari attempting to be practical? Is it a proper sports car with a big boot? And is it a car that will always and fundamentally be a compromise, since it's trying to be all things to all people? No, a compromise car is something which is lesser than the alternative, and this simply isn't. This feels just as fun and as lively as a Portofino to drive, and possibly in many respects it's got some advantages over the Portofino, especially since it's got a proper roof, so it has a complete chassis, which gives that little bit of extra stiffness and gives you a bit more confidence going around the bends. Not when you're sitting at a set of lights. Ooh, off we... Certainly got to get up and go, that's for sure. This isn't a car you buy because you need to buy it. That's never going to be that. You buy one of these because you want it. And I don't care what anyone says, I reckon shooting brakes are the coolest cars in the world. I used to have one. No, it really technically wasn't a shooting brake, but anyway. But beyond the smaller capacity V8 up front, which incidentally produces more torque than the V12 which it replaces, the GTC4Lusso T also has one very big difference to the FF, and that is that it is rear-wheel drive only. So it goes back to the more traditional big Ferrari setup. So if you're in the market for the best looking in Grigio Titanium Metallic, GTC4Lusso on the market today, with so many options like adaptive headlights, red brake calipers, carbon fibre driver zone with LEDs, panoramic roof, suspension lift, Cavallino stitched on the headrest, the heli package, Scuderia Ferrari shields, dual front parking cameras, inner leather inserts, 20-inch Ford, dark painted rims, red rev counter and coloured special stitching, then come down to Lorbeck Luxury Cars and buy our example today. We'll see you next week.